Misha Marie Nelson, the Manager of Arts Development and Investment here at the Edmonton Arts Council. Hopefully you've prepared your application for the upcoming individuals or collectives deadline with the resources that are available to you through this video series, as well as the guidelines on our website, the frequently asked questions, a question and answer session, or maybe even a draft application assistance meeting with one of our program advisors. Those resources are available to you up until the deadline date. In doing so, it's a great time to review your application in the Smart Simple system to see how it lines up with assessment. The Edmonton Arts Council is funded by the City of Edmonton through taxpayer dollars, and our values align with the values of Edmontonians. We really want artists and arts workers to be fairly compensated for the work that they do in helping to make Edmonton a vibrant and exciting place to live for arts and culture. Applications are evaluated using specific assessment criteria. Refer to the guidelines for the specific criteria for the stream that you're applying for. Know that every piece of the application is taken into account when looking at the criteria, and the application is evaluated holistically in the categories of artistic merit, feasibility, impact, and alignment. Artistic merit refers to you as the artist. Think about everything that you wrote in your artistic background. What you're talking about, the why of your project, might include looking at your supporting material or other pieces of evidence for how you're going to action your project. For feasibility, is your project possible? How are you going to accomplish those things? What are your actions? What are your goals? Do you have great collaborators? Does your budget make sense? How is your timeline reflecting what you want to do in the project? For impact, you might consider the impact to you as the artist first. Is this going to expand your work? Is this going to take your art to a new level? And then it might also impact the art form overall, what artistic discipline you're working with, or possibly the Edmonton arts sector or the Edmonton public if your project has those components. You could show these things through letters of support, your goal setting, or the outcomes if you consider your own project a success. An alignment is how it lines up with the funding program itself. Did you apply to the right stream? Have you considered what the individuals and collectives funding is for? Refer to the guidelines for more specifics, but know that assessors are looking at all of these categories when they evaluate your application. The Edmonton Arts Council uses external assessors to evaluate your application. These are working artists just like you in the Edmonton community. Know that they're not EAC staff. They're people that bring different artistic backgrounds, lived experiences, and a variety of time in their arts practice. Know that all panels are multidisciplinary, so you're not just speaking to a musician or a visual artist or a film expert, you're speaking to all of them simultaneously. Make sure your application uses straightforward, simple, and specific language so that you can be well understood by people who might not be experts in your field. It's important to understand that you're speaking to an artist who understands what you're going through, but also may not be an expert in the same way that you are. Consider how you're presenting your work. Maybe even try running it by a friend first, so that you really know that you're using common language that can be easily understood by a variety of people who have lived and worked in Edmonton. Before you click submit on your application, consider everything we've just discussed and all of the previous videos in this series. It's important that you frame your application to be well understood and that you take into account the assessment criteria as priorities from the funder you're applying to. You may have applied for grants with the Edmonton Arts Council before, or maybe with other funders, but each program is unique and different and the priorities can change. So just make sure that you're up to date with everything in your application, your artist profile, and you know what the assessors are looking for. We wish you the best of luck, and we're excited to read your application.